I teach and coach on how to give narcissists a hard time, how to disappoint them, how to trip them up, how to regain lost ground taken by folks who take a mile every time you give an inch. I hear from people who say giving them a hard time never works, nor should because it's immoral. The only thing that can and ought to bring them around is kindness. Be nice, treat them with respect, and they'll eventually come around. I also hear from folks who say nothing works and you shouldn't try. Narcissists are incorrigible. It's like talking to a brick wall, so walk away. Never fight with a pig, you'll just get dirty and the pig likes it. I agree with them both half-heartedly, or more like 1/3 each. I believe in 3 strategies: giving them a hard time, being kind to them, and walking away. Depending on the situation, any of those strategies can work or fail. And besides, narcissists want everything you try on them to fail. That's their whole point. Nothing else matters. They've discovered the generic formula for declaring themselves the winner and you the loser no matter how you respond. That's what gives these often shy people the confidence to be total jerks. I teach giving a hard time because sometimes it's necessary and it's underdeveloped. Verbal combat is the hardest of the 3 to execute and therefore the one people are most likely to avoid. I think we need to cultivate better verbal combat skills. They belong in our repertoire. I see verbal combat as the last bulwark against violent combat. People who advocate kindness or walking away as the only strategies you need imply that there's no need or place for verbal combat. And I think, yeah, that's easy for you to say and tempting too. I know firsthand, I'm one of the lucky ones. My life has been safe, downright cushy, living through good times in safe places. My kind concluded that what worked for us would work for everyone. Never mind the war zones, corrupted societies, and shithole countries. My kind extrapolated too far from our rare circumstances, thinking if everyone just got nice on the count of 3, people would be nice back and we'd live in perfect harmony. It worked where we lived, though going soft as we did, we became sitting ducks for narcissists. If you believe everyone should just trust each other and feel guilty for doing otherwise, you'll end up trusting those mile-taking narcissists often until it's too late to stop them. We Softies helped expedite the backlash. The realpolitik hawks hated us because we pacifists didn't realize that sometimes you have to fight. They combined forces with the right-wing wingnuts and plutocrats who saw in us an opening to plunder. The United Movement eventually became the mindless, heartless Trump campaign, gloating on inflicting as much pain as possible on the libtards who, given their lifestyle commitment to tolerance, got confused and stayed impotent. It's dangerous to let one's guard down completely. Sobered, I now think in terms of those 3 opposite options: fight, accommodate, leave. In other words, giving or taking within a relationship and exiting the relationship. The Serenity Prayer covers 2 of them: the serenity to accommodate and the courage to fight. An extended Serenity Prayer would cover all 3. Grant me the self-respect to exit and ignore what I needn't change, the serenity to accept what I want to change but can't, the courage to try to change what I want to change and can, and the wisdom to know the difference. In my strategic consulting work with people who've lost ground to mile takers, we seek the wisdom to notice the differences that make a difference to which approach to implement. We study their situation carefully and what's within their comfort zone to implement. We visit varieties of ways to implement the 3 strategies tailored to their particular situation, always recognizing that each of them can work or backfire. Sometimes it's wisest to give exploiters a relentless and skillful tongue lashing. People who automatically take a mile when you give an inch deserve all of the humiliation they get. Crime pays if we let it. It's our job to not let it. We call that boundary setting, though of course the narcissist will call it bullying. Sometimes tongue lashings are a disaster, sparking a retaliation one can't risk. Mile takers love it. They don't just escalate when wrong, they'll grab any lame excuse for escalating and will pretend you started it and deserve retaliation tenfold. Sometimes it's wiser to be nice and accommodating. Bite your tongue and sweet talk them. Maybe they're just high-strung. If you soften to them, you'll discover common ground. Be sufficiently human with them and they'll reciprocate. You'll have all the win-win you hope for without any of the conflict. That's the pacifist dream. Be kind and people will come round. Every win-lose is a win-win situation disguised and hiding under a misunderstanding. Sometimes being nice and accommodating is a disaster. Mile takers love an excuse for condemning you to their dominance. You're weak and easily manipulated, which proves you deserve their domination. They want you to keep taking inches so they can keep taking miles, shaming you when you don't give in and laughing at you when you do. And of course, it's often best to walk away. Get out of harm's way, disengage, better for you and the world. Ignoring them sucks the air out of the narcissism. If they can't push you around, they run out of steam, and anyway, you get your mind back from the abuse. And of course, walking away can also backfire, just like asserting and accommodating do. Never fight with a pig? Let the pig run wild and ruin things for you and others? No, sometimes you have to fight a pig. You will get dirty, especially if you're a pacifist who shudders at the prospect of not being kind, receptive, and trusting of everyone. The goal is to make it so the pig doesn't like it. I often need a shower after doing battle with a narcissist. There are mix and match strategies too. I favor one called carrot sticking, a carrot and stick approach, where you show tender, generous encouragement for what you love about the person and at the same time cold, blunt, ruthless criticism of what you find intolerable. It confuses them. They'd rather think of you as either their evil enemy or a reliable ally. Confusing them is useful. The point is to unground them. I also favor what I call repercussioning. Cushioning yourself against the repercussion, against the inevitable backlash when they retaliate for you challenging them. Repercussioning is a combination of assertion and leaving. It calls for a blend of assertive bluntness and psychic distance. Kind of a take it or leave it approach, though more like take it or don't take it. I don't care if I persuade you, but I will not be silenced. If you don't like it, rail against me all you like. It doesn't change my opinion. I'll just shrug. Timing is important. Each of these three main strategies have their time and place. For example, given the trajectory we're on with the Trumpists, I'd say it's now time to go for the kill. Coup de grace, assertiveness on the Trump coup. We've got them on the run and should be at our most aggressive towards them. I've been giving them a taste of their own medicine. They've been taking premature victory laps for the past 10 years, pretending like they've already won forever and the resistance has already lost. Now I tell them they're doomed, that they're too wimpy to jump off a sinking ship. Trump has already jumped the shark. These geniuses who know exactly how the future will unfold haven't even the sense to wonder what happens next when Trump crashes and burns. I taunt them, fully repercussioned. They bark back at me robotically. I shrug and double down. They exit disappointed. I think that's the right strategy for now. For the past 10 years, it's been hard to know what to do, but then that's how it is when you're dealing with narcissists. They have a strategy for making you wrong no matter what you do. It's a shell game, cycling through robotic responses to the three options. They alternate between playing victim, thug, and uniter. If you assert, you're mean and they're the victim. If you accommodate, they're the thug whooping your weak ass. And if you leave, you're either weak ass or you're divisive. Why can't we all get along by going along with their demands? Whichever strategy you employ, it's the wrong one. Don't be mean, be nice. Don't be nice, be tough. Don't leave, stay, and let them indulge in more abuse. There is no one-size-fixes-all formula for dealing with people who have discovered that they can get away with taking miles every time you give an inch. That's why if you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with what I consider to be the greatest challenge humanity faces. Humbly humbling people who will say or do anything to avoid human humility. If we don't solve it, I think we're doomed. The clown car filled with ridiculous, dumb, dangerous demagogues shows no signs of emptying out. Tyrant after tyrant in our personal and political lives throughout all of human history. Well, it turns out few people in the world are into as much raw introspection about the human condition as I am. And if you're one of them, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And that's another thing. I'm for hire. I do strategic consulting on dealing with life's tough judgment calls and dealing with total jerks. My email's down below. Get in touch for a free sample session. Thanks.